The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Wisconsin.
Welcome back to the Eli Soccer Park in Milwaukee and continuing coverage of the 38th annual WIAA Boys Soccer State Tournament. Championship Saturday culminates with the D1 final between the Verona area Wildcats and the Neenah Rockets. Hello, welcome to our game broadcast on Fox Sports Wisconsin alongside Fox Valley Lutheran boys soccer head coach Eric Shazer. My name is Matt Menzel. Both of these teams are coming off 3-goal victories in their semifinal rounds of play yesterday. And take a look at the bracket for the Neenah Rockets, able to knock off the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's 4-1. And Verona, as the top seed in this, their first ever state tournament appearance, they knocked off Kenosha Tremper 3-0. Let's take a look at this matchup. And Eric, when you take a look at the Neenah Rockets, they have a couple of playmakers led by Thomas Priest. He's coming off a 2-goal performance in that semifinal, has a total of 28 goals on the year.
As Thomas Priest goes, so go the Neenah Rockets. He's put in a ton of goals this year. They're going to look to him to get them on the board first.
The Verona area Wildcats, as a team, they've scored 100 times. And Jack Knight, a big reason why. He's coming off a 1-goal and 1-assist semifinal performance.
Matt, that's why I'm so excited for this game, with Jack Knight being the catalyst for the Verona Knights going against Thomas Priest for the Neenah Rockets. I think we're going to see a lot of goals today.
All right, so it's Thomas Priest and the Neenah Rockets against Jack Knight and the Verona area Wildcats. D1 State Championship. Kickoff. Boys State Soccer coming away next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Welcome back to the Eli Soccer Park here in Milwaukee. Our fourth and final game here on this championship Saturday. The Verona area Wildcats of the Big 8 Conference and the Fox Valley Association's Neenah Rockets. Eric, here's what we've seen already today. Tight battles in Division 4, 3, and most recently in that tie between Brookfield Central, Brookfield East in Division 2, decided in a shootout.
Matt, we've had a lot of end-to-end action today, and then finishing it up in Division 2 with that exciting shootout with Brookfield Central coming out on top. We're looking for more action, more goals as Neenah takes on Verona.
Now for Sturgeon Bay, for Shorewood, and for Brookfield Central, all winning their second state titles. When you check out the current weather conditions, 40 degrees our game time temperature. Verona looking for their first ever state title. This is their first ever state tournament appearance. Neenah, they're back here for the 17th time, first time since back-to-back appearances in 2011 and 2012. They've had a couple of runner-up finishes and 3 titles to their credit, with their most recent coming back in 2007. And they knocked off Marquette 3-2 in overtime. With the 17 state appearances, that's third behind Marquette and Brookfield East, who have been a state 18 times apiece. Rockets with 17 victories, 1 defeat, 3 ties, unbeaten over their last 18. Knocked off Homestead in their sectional final last week, 2-1 in overtime. What a bracket that was. They knocked off Arrowhead as well in a sectional semifinal. Remember, Homestead knocked off the reigning 5-peat D1 state champion Marquette Hilltoppers.
And that opened it up for Neenah to make it through to this championship final. I'm really interested to see, Matt, if all that experience Neenah has had over all these years, you know, the 17 state playoff appearances as opposed to Verona's first state playoff appearance, see if that has any bearing on today's game.
Verona knocking off Madison West in a sectional final after they had beaten Middleton in a sectional semifinal and qualifying for their first ever state appearance. A lot of talk with Verona has been that next step. Last year, won their first Big 8 Conference championship. Just missed on a qualifying for state. This year, got to the sectional final for the first time. Now at the state tournament for the first time. Now in the state championship game for the first time. Next step, and that next step, bring home the golden ball.
What an exciting experience for the Verona Wildcats. After getting through that sectional final match against Madison West, a tight 1-0 contest, then to find themselves here after yesterday's big victory, they've put themselves in a position to win that first gold ball.
Well, at the Rockets, we focused certainly on Thomas Priest, the future Marquette Golden Eagle. The 28 goals he has now scored, but we can't forget and can't get too far into this broadcast without mentioning Andrew Nasser, the senior forward. He comes in, he is number 2 on the team when it comes to goals, but also right there among the leaders in assists. But those two, nice 1-2 combo, and it seems like pretty much all year they've been on the same page.
And Matt, they've got that nice 1-2 punch up front with Priest and Nasser. And defenders don't get enough props in my book. They've got 2 big guys. They're center backs, Bryce Henderson and Coons in the back, Ethan Coons. They're 2 center backs. Those guys have done a great job all season long in limiting attempts and shots on goal and shutting down opposing offenses. It's going to be interesting to see if that back line of Neenah can shut down Jack Knight and the Wildcats.
Wildcats now is a team of 100 goals, and in their first 23 matchups. From a strength, they feel the strength is the fact the scoring is spread out. And it is spread out with 14 different goal scorers and 3 that have 10+ goals apiece, led by Jack Knight. You see right in the middle with the knit cap, the big poofy jacket. Back to us is Chris Handrick. He was the Big 8 Conference Coach of the Year last season, and again here in 2019 with the Wildcats laying claim to the Big 8 Conference Championship. Now back-to-back seasons. 4th year as a varsity head coach following a 3-year stint as the JV assistant. That next step for the Wildcats here in the D1 championship matchup.
Exciting times at Verona, especially for Coach Handrick, you know, starting out assisting with the JV, making that jump to the varsity, and like you said, they've progressively kept moving to that next level, obviously getting the state next level, and here they find themselves in the championship game. Awesome work by Coach Handrick and the rest of his coaching staff.
The officials in the blue, Peter Bernardi out of the pier is our head referee, Jeff Gendy and Rod Ottens, the 2 ARs. The Rockets in the all-white Neenah, a tradition-filled program that is seeded number 3, ranked number 8 in the final D1 state rankings. Verona in the all-black and orange, number 1 seed, ranked number 3 in the final D1 top 10. And the Wildcats get the first half underway. Game 12, the final game of the 38th annual WIAA Boys Soccer State Tournament.
Be interesting to see, Matt, which team is able to get their offense on track first as both teams settle into this game. Somebody can go on that quick strike.
As Nasser plays it back for the Rockets, that's a Thomas McDonald. For Verona, Elliot Popkowitz. Able to come through yesterday with the first goal for the Wildcats, which came in the 10th minute unassisted. Set the tone in a 3-goal victory against Kenosha Tremper. Verona plus 18 in shots.
It's going to be huge for both teams. Solid defense. Stay low. Don't reach. Can't get beat in those one-on-one battles. Too many good offensive players on each side to let that happen.
Tavion McNuckle, a second-team all-conference selection this season to the Big 8.
You can tell both teams want to move the ball quickly. Sideline to sideline. Both teams moving very fast. Trying to get some separation from defenders, trying to find a gap in that defense.
And for the Rockets, Alexander Nording coming right back. Diego Luna moved up from that back line, and now Popkowitz, being the Big 8 Conference Player of the Year. Kept in here by Gannon Simonet, a 2018 all-conference honorable mention, second team here in 2019. Sam Abreu. Close call early for the Wildcats.
Wow, for a second I thought that was going into the top corner of the net. Couldn't tell from our angle that it was just off.
Sam Abreu looking to test Ian Bogan, the starting goalkeeper for the Rockets at 6'1", 167. This is senior season.
That's why Bogan was so nonchalant about that ball. I thought he was just beat and it was going top corner, but he knew it was out wide.
Coach Ross for the Rockets, back for season number 3. Neenah back at state first time since 2012. That 2012 squad would lose in the quarterfinal against Kettle Moraine 1-0, and Kettle Moraine would go on and fall in the finals against Marquette. Rockets atop the Fox Valley Association. Boy, a nice active start involving Sam Abreu.
Matt, we've talked all day about the importance of conference play, and you mentioned the Neenah Rockets and their Fox Valley Association Championship. Talk about another rugged conference where conference game in, game out, you're playing quality competition for the most part. And that really helps the team figure out if they're up for making that run to state. Neenah, obviously winning conference, knew that this was a definite possibility for them.
For the Wildcats, Abreu, Jonathan Gomez up that left wing. Simonet. He's going to belong to Neenah. That playoff bracket for the Rockets and being battle tested. Going to knock off Sheboygan North, Oshkosh West. Also a team that's given the Rockets some trouble in the past. In fact, knocked off the Rockets last year in that sectional semifinal after they finished second to the Rockets in the FVA. Went to a shootout to advance beyond Arrowhead, and then across the parking lot at the Pat Jones Field, knocked off Homestead 2-1 with a couple of extra overtime periods needed. But a quick turnaround from the emotional high of that victory on Friday to right back to business. Same thing for Homestead, though, coming off that high against Marquette, and going to quickly turn around and try to get your ticket to state punched.
Man, it's always interesting as you look at the teams that are playing, you know, here in the state tournament. How close, if you look at sectional semifinal, sectional final, how close those games are, and you realize, you know, a 1-0 or a...
Well, Gomez getting behind the ball.
1-0 or a 2-1 game, or Neenah Arrowhead 0-0 tie. Neenah wins or advances on penalty kicks. You know how close those games are, and how they could have easily just gone the other way and they wouldn't even be here. So that's just again a sign of how difficult it is to make it to this point in the state tournament.
But that bracket, Marquette was #1 in the final D1 state rankings. Arrowhead #2. Neenah 8, Homestead 9. That's just to get here.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. You know, when you think about that, how easy it could have been any one of those 4 teams.
Well, Thomas Priest on that windup for the Rockets.
That's why if you're Neenah, you're thinking we got to take advantage of this opportunity because it's so hard to get here, and when you do, got to take advantage.
Left back there by Bennett Luttinen. Been all-conference performer the last couple of seasons. McNuckle.
Verona's done a nice job in these first 5 minutes, being patient, but yet moving the ball quickly with solid, easy, completable passes, keeping the Neenah defense moving. That's the key, is when you get that defense moving, that's when you're going to find a gap or find a seam that you're going to be able to play a ball into, make a run into. So it's imperative to move that ball quickly.
Well, look here at Jack Knight. Showed you during the top what he was able to accomplish yesterday in the semifinal round of play. Nice pick me up there for Knight after a couple of quieter games as far as stats go in the sectional rounds. Knight coming in with 3 playoff goals and a couple of assists, at least going into yesterday's semi, before again he came through with the second goal of the game, which is the third. And finishing with a couple of shots, one of which on goal. With Nasser and Nate Hansen. He's between the posts for the Wildcats, the 6 foot 170-pound senior goalkeeper.
They're a perfect example of Neenah's quick strike capabilities. That came out of nowhere. That came off a goal kick. And Nasser plays that ball across.
Saw Hansen with that 0.57 goals against average, 80 save percentage. Nice job of the defense yesterday and really limiting the quality of touches for Kenosha Tremper. No saves credited to Hansen in that semifinal. Priest gonna turn that corner. And Priest leaves it off in front, had Nasser. And there's that 1-2 combo, though typically it's the other way around.
Had Nasser at the 12, had somebody back post at the 6, might have been a better choice. Nice job by Priest, turning the corner, taking it to the goal. It's just so dangerous. Anytime the ball's at his foot or Andrew Nasser's foot, anything can happen.
And Nasser, we're gonna make something happen. That time again, he had Priest up top, tracked down by McDonald. Now in his second year with the Rockets. And a starting center midfielder after moving to Neenah a couple of years ago from North Carolina. Popkowitz. Gomez on his right side. That's the route the Wildcats go. And Gomez. Abreu. Simonet. Another clearance here for Neenah. Hit back to Nate Hansen. Hansen will only make one save in the sectional final against Madison West. So you go back last couple of games and hit the defensive line. Only forcing 8 saves in those 2 games for Hansen. Defense doing the rest, and the offense. That sectional final got a goal, which came seconds before the end of regulation. Nice header in front with Elliot Popkowitz.
Nice job by Verona, bringing it in from the flank.
And that spacing there against Samuel Brazzi, who was on the mark out defensively for the Rockets.
Gomez bringing it in. Would have liked to do a little something better with that. Made the save relatively easy for Ian Bogan.
Oncoming is Priest. Priest, the FVA Conference Player of the Year. A conference again seeing the Rockets take first, going 9-0. They've won back-to-back FVA titles, 29 now overall. Finishing above Appleton North, Appleton West, and Kimberly, finishing tied for 3rd.
Neenah's defense has done a really nice job with Coons, Henderson, Breezy in the back there. Done a nice job being solid, clearing the balls out of the air, making sure they're locking people down, closing the ball down. It's going to be imperative for a victory today.
Nordang. And then Elliot Popkowitz giving chase. His updated totals give him 13 goals on the year to go along with 16 assists. Nordang. Cut back on this near side, not to be. Gomez. And right back there to Thomas McDonald. Luttinen.
Right now for Neenah, a little bit of a gap between their defensive back line and their midfielders and forwards. They haven't been able to connect enough, which has allowed Verona to keep the ball in this the Neenah end of the field for a lot of this first half so far.
Luttinen going back. Sam Lynch, part of that back line. All-state choice last year. Has been a first-team all-conference selection back-to-back seasons. Good size back there at 6 foot 165. Will move up on occasion on set pieces. It's been a focal point. And scoring 9 times with 1 assist.
That's awesome coming from your one of your guys in your back line. If you can get that kind of production, especially useful on set plays, free kicks, things like that.
Yeah, he came through with 1 goal and 1 assist in that sectional semi against Middleton, a team that knocked off Oconomowoc in a regional final. It was a 5-4 seeded upset. But that sectional semifinal would see the Wildcats jump in front 2-0 and 4-1. They'd hang on for the 5-3 victory. Nice pass. Goal scored by Elliot Popkowitz. Gannon Simonet on the assist.
Nice cutback. Simonet did a nice job drawing the defense away from the goal, and then he cut it back right into the middle for Popkowitz to latch on to right at the end. Nice ball in. Drawing the defense away from the goal and cuts it back. Popkowitz got in a seam, got out inside the outside defender. And Brazy wasn't quick enough to step inside.
So goals now in back-to-back days for Popkowitz. In fact, goals over the last now 3 games. Had the game winner of that sectional final, which again is believed to be the first sectional final appearance ever for the Wildcats boys soccer program. He scored in the 89th minute in that win. Came through with the game winner yesterday in the shutout against Kenosha Tremper, and now scoring here in the 14th minute.
It's pretty heady stuff. Your first time into the state tournament. Now you've jumped out to a lead in the state championship game.
And the senior now with 14 goals on the year. And Gannon Simonet, who had a goal yesterday.
They're going to try and keep the pressure on.
Now it's 3 assists. You see the pressure for the Wildcats involving Jack Knight. So goal 101 for the Wildcats, now with a corner kick. Yesterday with 9 corners, allowed 3 to Kenosha Tremper.
I think if you're Neenah, you got to be super careful. You can't afford to fall behind 2-0. You got to be locked down defensively from here on out. Give Nasser and Priest an opportunity to operate up front.
I was thinking about Sam Abreu. That corner, that is, going back that direction. On the path from Bennett Luttinen. This would be a goal kick for the Rockets, make it a substitution. And Neenah bringing Sean Forze into the lineup. And a Rocket breather for Alexander Nordang. So the Wildcats striking first. The team that's been able to outscore opponents and setting tones in games 40-6 in the first half this season. Take it a step further, they even get better as the game goes on. They've outscored the opposition 61-5 in the second half of games.
Doesn't seem quite fair, does it?
16 shutouts. They've only allowed 11 goals. They've had 3 shutouts now here in the postseason.
Well, that's why they were ranked where they were ranked at the end of the season. 3rd in the state, that's why they're sitting in this championship game.
That's the challenge here for Priest, Nasser, and company. Rockets have scored 65 goals of their own. Diego Luna. Over with Jack Knight. See Bryce Henderson out there for the Rockets. Knight. Gonna stick with it. Rolls free, but is picked up by Ian Bogut.
Neenah's got to be careful. Ben Flores took Jack Knight down. Looked like the ball was gone, but Got to be careful in the box. Can't afford to give up a PK at this point. And again, it's going to be imperative for Neenah to make sure that their defenders and their midfield and their forwards are all linking up. Right now, Nasser and Priest have been up top sort of by themselves, haven't had a whole lot of help.
As this throw came to Nasser. Look at the speed on this outside. Knight able to get there. Benjamin Flores on the markup.
Nice job by Flores.
And a foul against the Wildcats. So this one going against Elliot Popkowitz. He's the goal scorer in the 14th minute. And now guilty of this foul on Ethan Coombs.
Love the aggressiveness from the Verona Wildcats. They are going for it here. They know the importance of getting a second goal. They have managed so far in the first 17 and a half minutes here. They've controlled the run of play, controlled the majority of the possession. Neenah's going to have to figure out a way to link front to back and make sure that Verona doesn't have majority of the touches on the ball.
Luttinen has fined. Flores there defensively. That takes away the ability there at Knight. And right now, Ian Bogan shook up the Rockets goalkeeper, who was on the varsity team for a third year, but this being his first season as the full-time starter. Athletic training staff will come out to make sure he's all right.
Ball crosses the end line there.
Look like he got hit in the forehead.
Jack Knight trying to jump over him, but his shin guard caught Bogan right in the forehead.
Well, apparently they wave everybody off and he will stay out there. He's all right. And this would be a corner for the Wildcats. Abreu. Flores. Coming over McNuckle. Diego Luna.
Neenah's had to do a lot of chasing and a lot of defending in this first half so far. They're going to have to figure out a way for their team to go on the attack. Oh, nice dummy.
Off the backside of Coons, that wind up by Sam Abreu. Luttinen.
Coons wanted to clear that ball a little farther. Neenah hasn't done the best job of clearing the ball out of their zone. Verona's been able to keep it in.
Abreu. A grab by Ian Bogan. Bogan, a left-footed player. Coach Ross says arguably one of the best free kick takers, shot takers on his entire team. That's good hands too.
Nice job of closing him down by the Neenah defenders, not giving him any options.
Forze. And the end line off that run by Brooks Luttinen. Goal kick here for the Wildcats. Here at state, first time. Looking to record the 6th state championship for a Big 8 school. Last Big 8 program to bring home a state title was back in 2006 in Division I Madison Memorial. Middleton won in 2004 in the Madison West. 1984, 1987, and 1988. Nasser.
Nice job by Priest and Nasser working together. Priest dishing it off, looking for the give and go. Verona did a nice job.
So Sam Lynch drawing that assignment and slowing down Priest. Knocked out of the air by Bennett Luttinen.
Key is putting a body on somebody, not letting them have a free run. If you give them a free run, they're at full pace. It's hard to track that as a defender.
Cooper Moss. And McDonald upfield with Forze. Too much on the pass. Diego Luna on that back line for the Wildcats. Abreu.
That's been a problem for Neenah so far in this game. Just that ability to connect with the wings, connect with the forwards. Passes just haven't been as accurate as they need to be yet.
Knight. Chris Handrick, the head coach for the Wildcats, and talking about this opportunity. He said the only concerns he had coming into the state tournament is the fact that, okay, yes, this team has a large amount of experience and maturity in playing at high levels at the varsity level against very good teams out of the Big Eight. It's a roster of 13 out of the 23 of senior status. But again, being the first trip to state, big emphasis. A lot of the talk has been about making sure we remain focused on who we are and don't let the state environment change us. And so far, they've been playing the way they've been playing all year. Able to set the tone yesterday, and that's carried over into this championship matchup. Striking early and doing a pretty good job here on the attack.
Yeah, not trying to do too much. Being willing to just make that nice, easy pass, work those give-and-go combinations, and really moving off the ball. That's key for Verona's success.
And Bennett Luttinen. Another close call with Knight. Look there, Jorge Lagunas, the senior forward, also going airborne, and he had the header and deflected off a defender, it looked like.
Yep.
That being Ethan Coons.
And that's why you throw that ball into the box. You get those deflections, you never know what's going to happen. That's why it's so dicey as defenders and as a defense. You just don't want to give up those opportunities if you can help it. I think right now, if you're Verona, Coach Handrick, you're pretty happy with the way this first half has gone.
On that corner by Abreu. There's Sam Lynch. We're talking about his size and the impact he can have on set pieces. Bogan gets rid of it.
Verona's just done a nice job of continuing to attack Neenah, not letting Neenah out of their own end. Neenah's going to have to figure out a way to possess it out of their own half of the field to give Priest and Nasser a chance. So far, they haven't figured that out, at least consistently. Verona's done a nice job of pinning them down, locking them in.
Right now playing up top to you of Cooper Moss. Backside with McNuckle. Forget coming over to help out. Nasser gonna make a run. Priest on his near side. You also had Christian Quinones, the sophomore forward.
Nice job by Quinones playing that through ball to the corner. Couldn't quite connect it, but that's exactly what you need to do.
Nasser. Priest on the backup. Now both guys to get up. And then Priest right there battling hard with Gannon Simonet.
I think Nasser got hit from behind and then tripped.
And Priest trying to win the ball back, taking down Simonet.
I think it's warmer now than it was the last game. I don't know if the wind stopped or if that's it might have just went up.
Until then, Verona's done such a nice job of just connecting passes together.
Nasser leaving it off. Quinones. What a save by Hansen. Nasser, McNuckle. And McNuckle getting knocked down in the box by Andrew Nasser.
It's too bad Quinones couldn't get his left foot on that. He could have put it, he tried to use the outside of his right foot. If he could have taken another step, gotten his left foot on it, he could have just laid a nice, easy ball down. And that's one of those things too, we always tell our shooters, shoot it low. The goalie's hands are up here, so anything up high is easier for them to save. You put it low, it takes a split second to get down. Get that hand down, get your body down, and that could be the difference between a goal or a save.
Like Bogan, Nate Hansen on the varsity team for a third year, but this being his first as the starter. He's been a backup last couple of years.
Neenah showing some signs of life here. Had a couple good fast break opportunities.
Well, a couple other teams that are here at state. Verona, one of those teams that many had pegged to potentially be a state qualifier as early as last year. A team that won 14 games, won the Big 8 Conference title, their first ever Big 8 Conference championship, and losing in the sectional semifinal against Sun Prairie 2-1. Sun Prairie made their first ever appearance last November. And from that team, the Wildcats have been able to bring 9 starters back, 14 in all. And really the only big question mark that came into this season was how they were going to go about filling that void at goalkeeper, but you knew you had Nate Hansen waiting in the wings.
And Matt, that's one of those things we've talked about. Is just it's so hard to get here. You just never know from year to year. Catch a break here, catch a break there. You know, the difference is a goal here, a goal there. So kudos to those teams that have those aspirations, but also others look and say, yep, they should be a state team, and then actually make it. Because it's tough to do. There's a lot of teams sitting at home today who thought they had a good chance to be here, and they're not here.
That defense to the Wildcats taking that next step, along with Nate Hansen. And you mentioned the 16 shutouts coming in. With 3 here in the postseason, now in back-to-back games.
We talked about Henderson early on in the game, center back for Neenah. He's a huge body back there and super aggressive, does a nice job thwarting that Verona attack, just coming out, winning that ball in the air. That's why it's so important to have those big center backs.
Well, Coach Ross calls him a monster on that back line.
He is a monster.
Well, he said
6'3".
To the monster single-handedly shut down Arrowhead last week and hit over 10 clearances in the air with them. Said he couldn't be stopped.
I believe it. 6'3", that's like 2 of you.
And a half. Knocked away here by Jonathan Gomez, and before that could happen, a Rockets foul. So the athletic training staff will make their way onto the field with this game halted in the 29th minute. A 1-goal lead for Verona on a goal that was scored in the 14th minute. Elliot Popkowitz. Gannon Simonet on the assist. See a concerned Coach Handrick coming over as well.
It's hard to tell if he's just got a Charlie horse from the kick, or if it looks like his foot was planted when he got drilled in the back. Hopefully it's nothing more serious than a bruise.
So Lagunas able to walk with his own power. Here's a closer look at that swing. See our graphics says 5'10". The program listed him at 6'10".
I was going to say, and I thought the graphic said 6'10". Yeah, I was going to say, where did that come from? Then the program says 6'10".
He's not 6'10".
Huge. Yeah, he's not 6'10". We may have a bad angle from up here, but he's definitely not 6'10". If he's 6'10",
well, I was going to say,
I'm 7 feet
well,
tall.
You're talking about Bryce Henderson being a monster.
Yeah, no kidding. You have to have those two guys stand side by side at back to back at halftime and see who's taller.
Luna.
No.
And Diego Luna on back with Sam Lynch. Overcame Thomas Priest.
Verona's just being patient, working that ball sideline to sideline, doing a nice job, spreading out the Neenah defense. That's been their mode of operation for this whole game. Allowed them to get their first goal. Found a seam in that Neenah defense.
Well, night given way, and Jack Heilman who's out there. Heilman leaving it off. Gomez. McNuckle.
It's all about moving the ball quickly. Verona's done a nice job of that. That's how you get a defense spread out.
On the play on Ethan Kuhn with the shove.
Just trying to do a little too much. Get 3 defenders there. Just make that nice easy pass.
McDowell from Nasser. Looking for Priest. Simonette in between the pair.
Neenah moves so fast, Matt, in transition. We've seen that in the first half with the opportunities they have had. They're an explosive team in transition. They are on the go. Those guys are sprinting full speed. Understand why they've scored so much.
So Coach Ross, he put it Appleton East. Patriot, school's all-time leading scorer, 3-time All-FVA, a 2-time All-State selection.
I wonder if it was hard for him to go down to Neenah and lead their program.
He played for the Patriots
East.
A couple of state tournament appearances. They've been to state 4 times as a whole, but not since 1999.
Need to bring him out of retirement. Put him back on the field. Appleton East had a good solid team this year. They only lost to Neenah 1-0. So they put up a good fight.
That came a few weeks ago after the Rockets made the trip to Burlington, Iowa, and played a couple of schools from Illinois and came away with a win and a tie. But after they had rattled off 9 consecutive wins, only loss for the Rockets coming against Oconomowoc back on September the 7th. Otherwise, they have 3 ties, one against Bayport, one against Evanston out of Illinois, and then the tie last week versus Arrowhead. Diego Luna.
So we know you've had a good season with the quality schedule they play. You've got 1 loss and 3 ties.
Flores.
Popkowitz a little aggressive there on the challenge.
And the fans involved with that. Kick into the stands. Free kick here for Andrew Nasser.
Well, see if Neenah can get something out of this. Put a ball in the box. As we've said, anything can happen.
Wildcats. With Nordang keeping it in for the Rockets.
Nice ball by Nordang.
Zachary Ziegert on that right side, the junior midfielder. This season has contributed 5 goals with 1 assist.
There's Sam Lynch in the middle of it all. Big, tall defender for the Verona Wildcats. Not the clearance he was looking for. Allowing Neenah to keep him locked in.
And Popkowitz. And long ball with Jonathan Gomez. I don't talk much about it in this game, but certainly the big storyline as far as Division I goes is the wide openness of this field of 4 coming in. But again, the Hilltoppers not being at least one of the 4 teams to qualify, only the 2nd time. They have not been here at state since joining the WIAA for the first time since 2013. The last time the Hilltoppers did not win a state championship. Muskego tied Green Bay Preble that year and ended up winning in a shootout 4-2. But only the 4th time this century, Hilltoppers not won half of the D1 state final. And the Rockets have been a reason, at least in one instance, that the Hilltoppers were not in that final. You go back about a 3-year stretch, that had been a regular meeting here at state. And from 2006 through 2008. In 2006, they beat the Hilltoppers in a quarterfinal. Came back the next year. The last time they won a state championship, beat the Hilltoppers in 2007, 3-2 in overtime. And then they'll go on and fall to Marquette in a quarterfinal in 2008. Some great battles during that 3-year stretch between the Rockets and the Hilltoppers.
Just think about that history there as you talk about Marquette, as you talk about Neenah, all those battles over the years. The fact that they've continued to maintain, you know, that level of play. Neenah getting back here. And then you look at a team like Verona, who's trying to start that kind of history. You know, that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we'll be talking about Verona and their sustained record of success.
That sectional semifinal loss for the Hilltoppers snapped a 36-match win streak versus teams from Wisconsin. And that lost since losing to Whitefish Bay in 2017. Also, that loss halted the Hilltoppers' 55-match unbeaten streak versus in-state competition. Quite the run.
That's just amazing. When you think about it, that's just unheard of. That's why it's such a surprise, you know, and these teams are going, okay, this is anybody's championship.
Was a Division I field that also included Kenosha Tremper here for the 8th time, but first time since 2009. And Eau Claire Memorial back here for the 11th time for the 2nd time of the last 3 years.
And Matt, you know what? Whoever wins this, no one will remember that Marquette was not here, except for you, of course. But no one else will remember. It doesn't matter. It'll say Neenah, Division I champions, or Verona, Division I champions. That's all that matters.
The last time they did qualify was back in 2013, eliminated by Muskego, who went on to win the state championship. Homestead didn't get here.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. The team that beat them isn't even here.
Popkowitz.
A nice idea if he could have gotten it all the way to the back post. He had a teammate sitting on the back. Simonette was sitting on that back post all by himself.
Eric, that's not a knock at Homestead for not getting here, but again, you look at that bracket and
it's just so difficult.
Every
it just goes back to what we keep saying. Yeah, every game
battle.
is so tough.
That's Neenah beating the Highlanders. That ball brought to the air by Ian Bogan.
Kudos to those teams that are here because it's that difficult to get here. That's why it's such a special thing. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, some luck, all those things.
Knight. And the Wildcats. Now rebound possibility for Elliot Popkowitz.
Bogan's done a nice job in goal for the Neenah Rockets. He's been solid in the air. He's had the opportunity to handle the ball a lot.
Luna overcame Nording.
And right now, that's what's missing. That connection from the midfield to the forwards for Neenah. They've had it in spurts, but just hasn't been a consistent thing. Coach Ross is going to have to figure out how they can make that happen in the second half as we near halftime. That's going to be an important part. They just have not given Thomas Priest or Andrew Nasser, they've just not given them enough opportunities to work, to go 1v1 or to get the ball into space against that Verona defense. Verona's done a nice job of not allowing it.
Diego Luna.
Part of the way they made that happen is their possession of the ball. They managed to hang on to it for a lot of this first half. It'd be in Neenah's end for a lot of the first half.
Brooks Luttinen. A takeaway by Priest. Nasser. Over for the Wildcats came Diego Luna. And with Nording. 40th minute. Wildcats in their first state tournament appearance looking for title number 1. Rockets looking for title 4. This lecture Stern talking to Brooks Luttinen.
Following Gomez, I think, number 10 there. Came from behind, chopped him down.
Nasser. Good service. Priest. Gomez.
Unfortunately for Neenah, nobody there at the 18. Ball only got cleared to the 18, but didn't have anybody sitting there able to put it back in towards the frame.
See in the background, the Rockets getting ready to make a couple of changes. Throw in here for McNuckle. A look there at the two Rocket changes with Cooper Moss. Josh Conger. Popcoach looking to fake out Bryce Henderson. Yeah, monster. But also one of those players that Coach Ross has called a beast in the air. A beast, a monster, no matter how you describe him.
Sounds like he's big and aggressive.
A force to be reckoned with. Gomez.
I think if you're Neenah, they've done a nice job of stepping it up defensively after that goal. But these last 4 minutes, they can't fall asleep in the back. They got to make sure that Verona does not get a second goal, because Verona has shown it's going to be tough. Neenah's got the skilled players to do it, but Verona has shown willingness to work defensively all over the field. It's going to be really tough for Neenah if they were to go down 2-0 to come up with 2 goals against this Verona Wildcat team.
Knight.
Nice ball. Knight, way to bring it down.
Haven't seen for the Wildcats. Jorge Lagunas, all a 6'10", return to the lineup just yet. That was one of the injury stoppages here in this first half.
I think he's definitely a target man on all their free kicks at 6'10".
I think I'd be able to see him from here.
Yeah, I know. It's a surprise. He just didn't seem that big to me.
No, in all fairness, though, he took quite the kick to the back of the leg. Hopefully he's able to give it a go in half number 2.
Hope it's nothing serious. Probably got a serious welt.
He's been able to score 8 goals this season for this 101-goal offense. Luna. Touching him quite a bit already in this first half. The Wildcat defensive line. Down with Josh Conger.
Like to see him get it to Popkowitz. He's just sitting right in there, right between a couple of defenders. Verona can slide the ball into him.
Knight. We'll try to go field for Nasser. That opening cut off by Simonet. Gomez, Ian Bogan.
Not a good ball out of the back by Neenah. They need to be careful about that. Can't get sloppy right here, end of the first half.
Nasser, right there, Simonet.
You just get the idea, Nasser and Priest. These guys are electric with the ball at their feet.
Priest sticking with it, going right back to Nasser. McDonald. And Priest. Having to take it away by Sam Abreu. In yesterday's game, Priest with 5 shots, 3 on goal. Nasser limited to 1 shot, but had a couple of assists.
Verona's done a nice job of compacting Neenah. They're playing it in tight down the middle of the field, haven't allowed Neenah to work their usual combinations for the most part.
Final 40 seconds here in this first half. McNuckle. Lynch on the backside of Priest. Sam Lynch.
Nice job by Lynch again. He's been a monster in this first half for Verona.
Final seconds ticking out here in this first half of play. And so a goal back in the 14th minute. Right now the difference in this D1 championship matchup, a goal that was scored by Elliot Popkowitz, assisted by Gannon Simonet. Verona, in their first ever state tournament appearance, are 45 minutes away from their first ever golden ball. Our halftime report is coming up here from the Eli Soccer Park in Milwaukee. You're watching continuing coverage of the 38th annual WIAA Boys Soccer State Tournament on Fox Sports Wisconsin. One 1-0 lead at halftime for Verona over Neenah. D1 state championship matchup here in Milwaukee. Fourth and final game here on Championship Saturday, and here's what we've seen already. In Division 4, Sturgeon Bay knocking off the Prairie School 2-1 in double overtime. It was Soarwood coming back and knocking off McFarland by a 2-1 score. And Brookfield Central, Brookfield East in Division 2, settling for a 1-1 draw, but 8-7. 8-round shootout won by the Lancers.
Matt, we've had a lot of good games today, end-to-end action, and then finishing it up there with that Division II final in a shootout. Couldn't get more exciting. We've got a great game here. Two good teams, Neenah and Verona, battling. Verona's had the better of the action in the first half. We'll see what Coach Ross and his Neenah Rockets come up with as far as strategy and how to change the tide of this game in the second half.
Yeah, don't look now, but it's starting to rain as well. For the halftime report coming up as we continue from the Eli Soccer Park in Milwaukee, it's Boys State Soccer on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Time in this D1 state championship matchup, 1-goal lead for Verona. On top of the Rockets, Neenah. Let's check out the first half highlights. The first half they would see the majority of the ball on the Verona attacking end of the field. Although a couple of saves have been made by Nate Hansen. Here Jonathan Gomez on this cross and quality header. Now this swing by Diego Luna. And set up Simonet on over for the finish. That by Elliot Popkowitz. It came in the 14th minute. He has now scored a couple of times here at State.
I think if you're Verona, you got to be pretty happy. Coach Handrick has to be pretty happy with the way things have gone. They've neutralized the Neenah Rockets and their two big scorers, Priest and Nasser. If you're Coach Ross and the Neenah Rockets, you've got to figure out a way to link up your midfield with your top two scorers up top. Start to maintain some possession and got to be able to get the ball out of your own end.
So Verona +7 in shots, +3 in shots on goal. Second half is coming up as we wrap up the 38th edition of the WIAA Boys Soccer State Tournament. That second half is next here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Start of the second half here in Milwaukee, our 12th and final game of this edition of the Boys Soccer State Tournament. Final golden ball to be handed out here in Division 1, and right now Verona has the 1-goal lead. Thanks to that guy, Elliot Popkowitz. He scored in the 14th minute, and Gannon Simonet on the assist. Elliot Popkowitz, your Conference Player of the Year in the Big 8. Led the team in scoring in 2018. And right now he is tied for the team lead, or now a goal back to Jack Knight, who's coming off that 1-goal, 1-assist performance yesterday. Knight so far has been limited to 1 shot. Gomez has 3, Abreu with 2, Popkowitz with 2. For the Rockets, their 3 shots, 1 for Priest, 1 for Nasser, and 1 for Quinones among the 5 to sub into the game for Coach Ross.
Simonette made that nice cutback pass, and Popkowitz found a seam in the defense. They've done a nice job, Verona has, of finding those seams, setting themselves up in between that back line of Neenah, and they've been successful so far. What's Neenah going to do in the second half to start connecting with their forwards? They've asked Nasser and Priest to do a lot on their own.
I was thrown back by Samuel Brazzi. Brazzi scoring the team's second goal against Eau Claire Memorial yesterday. In fact, it was the game winner in the 54th minute. As the Rockets came out in that second half, and it was a 1-goal halftime lead. They came out and scored 3, one of them being an own goal. But coming out and scoring twice from the first 16 minutes out of halftime, making those adjustments against the Old Apes. On the Rocket corner.
Bodies flying on that one.
Henderson. And before McDonald could get there, covered up by Nate Hansen.
Nice job by Hansen, coming hard and getting that ball. Again, it's tough for a goalie, especially in this cold weather. You've got to try and stay warm. Your hands get cold, your feet get cold. It's tough when all of a sudden you're called on to make a quick move or come out hard and grab a ball. All it takes is a second or two of hesitation. That could be disaster.
By outfield, Nasser taking down Sam Lynch. It's going to be a throw-in.
Sam Lynch has been a monster in the back there for Verona. It's pretty much stifled anything that Neenah has tried to get to happen here.
Now, you talked about the weather, how cold it's been over these last couple of days. Now throw in the fact that it is raining or has been raining. Expected to be raining throughout the duration now of this second half. Throw that on top of what these players are already dealing with, and another difficult playoff environment for these two programs.
Yeah, turf is already fast. You add a little rain, it's going to make it even faster and slicker, and that's going to potentially lead to, that's where mistakes happen. When that ball's just moving a little faster than you're used to.
Ziegert got there in front of McNuckle. As Wildcats take it away, one touch back near side. Gomez.
Just been so impressed with Verona as they turn the ball over, of course I say that. Just been so impressed with them, moving the ball sideline to sideline quickly, but calmly. No rush, but yet they're moving the ball fast. It always seems like they're under control. And Neenah just hasn't gotten to that stage yet, especially through their midfield. The defenders have done a nice job. Obviously their forwards when they've had opportunity, but not from front to back yet.
I thought that yesterday too, in watching the Wildcats. A team that just looked crisp, looked like they were just playing a simple style, but connecting on passes, not forcing the issue. They got better as the game went on. They were up 1-0 in that game, too, at halftime over Kenosha Tremper, and then came out and put one on the board early in the second half and added one more late. Moved to the 3-goal shutout.
And I think that's what you got to be super careful of if you're Neenah. You know, obviously you got to start hunting a goal, but they got to be careful they don't get caught on the counterattack. Or, from what you said, just the way Verona plays. It's nothing flashy. It's just simple, accurate, solid, quick. And right now, they've had the best of it.
And Nasser getting the Rockets a corner kick.
Another corner, a huge opportunity for Neenah. They haven't been able to get anything going in the regular run of play. Maybe a set play will be able to get them on the board.
Thomas Priest. What a snatch by Hansen. Reached out and then brought it in.
Looked like a one-handed grab there. Not recommended, goalkeepers, for you. Do not try this at home.
Out there, right cleat, Simonet.
Still amazed at Simonet's assist. It was just such a heady play. Took the defense out wide and then just slotted it back diagonally right into the middle for Popkowitz, who found that seam in the defense and ran right onto the end of it and one-touched it. Nice, easy, right through the corner of the goal. That was a pretty goal.
Luttinen.
And that's what you're talking about, man. It's just crisp. It's just easy past the open man. Nothing complicated.
And again, not forcing the issue.
Yeah.
You know that go backwards, so be it.
Yep. Just played a nice, solid overall game.
Popkowitz.
You heard Coach Handrick yell in the background, keep moving off of it. And sometimes that's what happens. You hang on to the ball too long, things bog down, your teammates stop moving. And that's what Verona was doing so well in the first half, was moving the ball quickly. They got to make sure they maintain that, don't slow it down.
Luttinen, watching as it's cleared by the Rockets and dumped right back ahead by the Wildcats. That was off for Elliot Popkowitz. Benjamin Flores, one of the 13 Rocket seniors. Got 26 seniors between these two teams.
It's crazy. It's a lot of experience there. But that's why we've seen just a good, solid game from both teams. Moment doesn't seem too big for either of them.
The Wildcats on their first state appearance, looking for their first championship. Looking to put their golden ball in the trophy case next to the girls soccer state championship. They have won in their 3 appearances. Brought home the title in 2010. That was a Wildcat team that knocked off Homestead.
It's always nice when you put those multiple trophies next to each other. Nice job by Ethan Kuhn stepping in, playing that ball across.
Priest.
Unfortunately, it's sort of been the story of Neenah's night. Just not somebody there on the other end to connect with it.
Look at the Rockets' history at state. Won titles in 85, 86, 2007. All under legendary head coach Harry Kelderman. I'm sure we'll talk about his impact on this program as we go along. But 85, 86 teams getting the opportunity to coach his son Chris. Now the head coach with the Milwaukee Panthers on the men's soccer side. Helping lead the Panthers now into the Horizon League tournament with a big victory yesterday over UIC.
You've been waiting.
Well, I'm
waiting to throw that in there, plug that. So what's their next match?
At Detroit Mercy, Monday. Women won the Horizon League tournament championship tonight over UIC. And off the foot of Jack Knight. McNuckle. Rockets are runner-up on a couple of different occasions. In 1983 and 1991, they fell against the Cedarburg Bulldogs by a 3-0 score. I'm just bringing it full circle for you.
Man.
Luttinen.
Name dropping everything. UW Milwaukee, Cedarburg. As you feel at home.
You
with,
asked.
Verona.
You asked.
Verona in the traditional Cedarburg orange and black.
That is true.
They probably stole it, I'm
well,
sure.
they go black and orange. Verona, orange and black.
Everything. It's like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Ultimately, everything ties back into the Cedarburg Bulldogs.
Hey, we still got
a little
less than 36 minutes.
We got a lot of time.
I got more.
Coach Handrick checking his watch there. Time is moving slow. When you got a lead like this in an important game like this, time never goes fast enough.
And what is going, from a coaching standpoint in a situation like this? On the verge of winning a state championship, perhaps. Look at the clock. It can't tick fast enough, can it?
No, you can't look at it. You just gotta, the minute you start looking at it, then it moves even slower. You just gotta play. I think they've done a nice job. Verona hasn't changed anything, at least as far as I can tell. they're just playing their game. They've done a nice job from beginning till now of just really neutralizing Neenah's attack. So there really isn't anything to change. And they have continued to be aggressive, maybe backed off a little bit offensively, but continued to possess that sharp, quick passing we've talked about. And they're smart. They're not in any rush. Tevian McNuckles done a nice job out left for the Verona Wildcats.
He had scored a goal in their sectional semi. That wind up by Gomez deflecting off a rocket, picked up by Ian Bogan. Right now, the difference maker, Elliot Popkowitz, who has scored 6 postseason goals. Trying to find more.
Nice save by Bogan. That ball could have very easily popped loose. He hung on to that. That was critical because there was somebody waiting on the doorstep.
Diego Luna.
Nice little ball. Nice save by Ian Bogan.
And even though, again, Luna listed as a defender, he's come up and factored into the attack. This season he's come through with a couple of goals, one of which a game winner. He's also had 3 assists.
Yeah, those outside backs for Verona have done a nice job of making themselves a part of the attack.
Popkowitz.
There you go. It's just sharp, crisp. Hit the open man. Nothing complicated.
Not much on the strike by Luttinen. Abreu. And brought in by Ian Bogan.
They have dropped Popkowitz a little deeper into the midfield here. Nice job by McNuckle, challenging that ball in the air.
And getting knocked down. McNuckle then using him as a leg rest. Zachary Ziegert.
Ziegert was close.
I need one of those.
That was. Give me a second. Let me get out of this chair.
McNuckle.
Great idea, just a little too much. Led Popkowitz just a little too much.
Overcame Popkowitz.
Verona,
back by Priest.
Verona does such a nice job moving off the ball. They're always anticipating, getting into those open spaces, getting there with some pace. And then that makes the pass easy.
Flores. That off of Diego Luna. Back outside that pass there from Sam Abreu. And Abreu with Thomas McDonald. Stepping in front. That rocket takeaway for Brazzi. McNuckle. Around Flores on that one touch from Luttinen. Jack Knight.
Man, so far in this game, Verona's just been fun to watch. Just knocking the ball around. Getting in open spaces, moving off the ball. Nice easy passes.
Look at how much possession time right now they're racking up.
Yeah, they haven't. That's one way to keep Thomas Priest and Andrew Nasser off the scoreboard, is to not give them much of a chance.
But forced Priest back.
Yeah, they've had to defend a lot. That's when Neenah's midfielders need to step up.
Ball taken away from Nasser. Look there at Nasser, who he began the season as a center mid. came down with mono in early September, missed about 3 weeks of play, came back. They moved him over to a starting forward role next to Priest. They've played together at Neenah now for about 4 years. By moving him up there, chemistry, second to none, made them very dangerous. Very familiar with one another, and saw that yesterday, that combo play, and even a little bit today. They've had the opportunity.
They just haven't had much opportunity today. Verona's done such a nice job of keeping the ball away from Neenah. And then when Nasser and Priest have gotten the ball up top, it's just been the two of them, 2-on-4.
Jorge Lagunas is back in. He's all
6'10".
He's back in for the Wildcats.
He's not even taller than the corner flag now. Glad to see he's back, doing all right.
Not him, but
he took a
Lynch.
pretty wicked kick to the back of the calf.
Lynch getting a piece, and Gomez brought in by Bogan.
Nice shot. Oh, that was Gomez down in the corner?
Yep.
Sorry, I thought it was Lagunas.
Yeah, he's listed at 5'9".
Okay, so that looked legit. That's a legit height. Nice shot by Gomez. Again, nice save. I've been really impressed with Ian Bogan, the Neenah Rockets goalkeeper. He's had a nice, solid day. He's got great hands.
Gomez, who has had 4 multi-goal performances, including in the playoffs, he's had a couple of goals, couple of assists during this run that has seen the Wildcats knock off Janesville, Parker, Madison Memorial, Middleton, Madison West, Kenosha Tremper. Nearly had another, and Gomez had a shot yesterday, although again, still factoring into the attack. He had 3 shots in that first half. Luttinen. But again, you see the possession here with the Wildcats.
Nice job by McNuckle. We said those outside fullbacks have really gotten into the attack. Playing a ball wide, running all the way into the 18-yard box. Didn't get the ball back, but making Neenah account for him.
Gomez. Abreu. 62nd minute. Luttinen.
Oh, nice ball. Back behind the defense.
There's Lagunas. Gomez. Wildcats looking for a foul after Abreu got knocked down. Gomez into a sitting position. And a corner for Verona.
Another dangerous ball. Yeah, another dangerous ball across the... Yep, definitely a hold.
I'm going to ask you something about that in a minute.
Neenah got lucky there.
As the Rockets looking for some clearance. Nasser. Lead it ahead for Priest. Going to play it off the deflection. Does. Priest.
Just too many guys. He's going 1-on-5 right there. He's an awesome player, but that's asking a lot.
Nasser. Gonna go with that give and go route, but Verona will not get back into the midfield.
As we said, right now it's just those two guys, and they're trying. There's only so much you can do.
Question I have for you, okay, we saw that takedown. Can we see it? You know, on the replay, it looks certainly maybe a lot worse than maybe it did in real time, no call.
Yep.
How about for you as a coach when you're down there on the sideline? For you, in a moment like that, when you're in the official's ear, you just kind of letting it be.
Yeah, finally there's only so much you can do. It can be frustrating as a coach. And I think, I'll be totally honest with you, having been a basketball official for a long time, we ask the center official in a soccer match to do a lot. Cover a lot of ground. You got 22 players out there, and he's watching the ball, you know, because that's his job, and you've got a challenge on the guy crossing. You got to make sure the guy crossing it doesn't get fouled. Then all of a sudden you've got action off the ball, it's really tough to see. That's why in basketball they went to 3 officials, because you got all that action off the ball. In soccer, you don't necessarily have that luxury. You got your assistant referees, but to be honest, they're so far from the action. It's tough. It's tough to see, and you know, that stuff off the ball in soccer,
McNuckle.
You're able to get away with it more just because you don't have enough eyes on it.
So many yellow cards have you received in your coaching career? Too many?
I don't know. No comment. I plead the 5th. The grounds I might incriminate myself. Not too many, no. I've gotten some, though.
This year?
Yeah.
Well, Brazzi.
We'll just leave it at that. I
Can't believe I'll sit next to you.
I think I had 1 or 2.
Popkowitz.
And again, it's hard. It's hard for me as an official, you know, watching a soccer game. I know what, you know, I see, and it's obviously I'm biased. There's no 2 ways about it. When you're coaching a team, you're biased. But you know, having officiated for a long time, there's different ways I would have handled the situation than maybe an official does. And I'm not saying my way was better, but you know, so that can be frustrating at times. But finally, it's one of those things where we talk to our kids all the time about just playing and playing through all that stuff. And you just have to, because finally you're not going to change anything other than distract yourself from the task at hand. So you just got to play. You got to play through contact. That can be a good learning experience.
They've allowed these teams to play.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Here's Lagunas.
And I'll be honest, these last 2 games, Division II, Division I, these have been awesome soccer games in the sense that it's been aggressive, but there hasn't been, you know, any of that cheap stuff or anything, you know, off the ball or after the ball goes away. It's been nice. It's been nice to watch.
And I thought that Brookfield matchup might be a little more physical. Maybe not from a dirty standpoint, but just, again, knowing one another, knowing what's at stake.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really
emotions.
That was a really clean game, and even this game too.
Popkowitz.
It's been a very clean game.
And he had both Simonet and Lynch.
Other than the shirt pull in the box, other than that, it's been a good game. And finally, the referee has to determine too.
As you see for Neenah, a school of over 2,000, bringing home the FVA title for a 2nd consecutive year, 29th time overall. Back at state for the 17th time, that is 3rd most in WIAA boys soccer history. And right now playing for their 4th title, 1st since 2007.
Amazing track record in history, and I was talking about officiating. You know, finally the refs got to make a judgment call, especially since in soccer the punishment for that is so serious. You know, you're basically giving a goal to the other team. You know, there's a judgment there. Did that pull really impede what was going to happen? Now, you and I in slow-mo might say definitely it did, but at full speed.
How about this move by McNuckle? Coming over to help out for the Rockets, Bryce Henderson, the beast, the monster back there.
We've talked about McNuckle all night. That guy has been dangerous from that left back position, and especially this half, he's been getting into that 18-yard box. Right here on his own, takes on a couple of Neenah defenders and a bump for Brazy, and still manages to get on the end of it. Gives his team a corner.
Luttinen. Off the side of the cleat with Diego Luna.
Was looking to set up Luna for a shot from the 18. Unfortunately, that's tough. Rolling ball from that distance. He's bouncing a little bit.
On the slide from stopping Henderson. Lynch.
That guy's been a linchpin for that defense.
Well, can you imagine those two? Well, that's, yeah. But think about that. You got the linchpin against the beast.
Nice matchup. Nice run by Henderson there. Coming all the way down.
Here's the school bio for the Wildcats, a school of over 1,600. They won 15 regular season games and brought home a second consecutive Big 8 Conference championship. But here at state for the first time after last year, they lost in a sectional semifinal against Sun Prairie, and the year before that, lost in a regional final against Middleton. Our program's come a long way. Now under head coach Chris Handrick back for year number 4.
So Coach Handrick there, he had a big smile on his, well, not a big smile, but a smile on his face, and I would too. His team has played just a solid game across the board, front to back. I think they've done exactly what he's asked them to do. So they've done a nice job of slowing down a prolific Neenah attack. Done a nice job of possessing, and they've been the ones putting most of their pressure on.
Saw in the background a much deserved needed probably breather for Sam Abreu. Flores. And Knight. You mentioned the history of the tradition that is Neenah Rocket soccer. Of course, you can't go a full sentence without having to mention the name Harry Kelderman and what he has meant to the program, he's meant to soccer as a whole in this state. Happy to see the Rockets unveiled Harry Kelderman soccer field earlier this season. Much deserved honor for the state's winningest boys soccer head coach, WSCA Hall of Famer as of 2011. 36 seasons, 603 victories, winning 3 state titles, and again, 2 of those with his son on the team. He was the interim girls soccer coach for 1 year. Got that team to state in 2010. They were a semifinalist, and that team lost to Verona in the semis en route to the Wildcats bringing home a state championship.
Yeah, pretty storied history there. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of soccer over a lot of years.
And I think he started coaching college soccer first at Lawrence University.
Yep. And made the transition to high school, and obviously very, very successful.
Yeah, Nate Warner take over for 1 year as the Rockets bring Quinones back in. And Nate was the coach in 2016 after spending time on the boys' side with Appleton North. They were runner-up in 2010. Was the girls' soccer head coach at Xavier. They won a couple of Division II state titles in 2003, 2004, and then he became the athletic director at Appleton North. And Coach Ross has since taken over. Kicked away by Brooks Luttinen.
Yeah, Nate Warner's a guy I've had a lot more opportunity to have contact with, and Nate is just a great guy, excellent soccer coach, obviously, doing good work. He's the activities director at Appleton North. Just was always very, very good to us when he was at Xavier. And we were just starting our program at FEL. He was always very complimentary and very kind, and just an all-around good guy.
Bennett Luttinen, with Henderson coming over for the Rockets. But you talk about a couple of coaching changes after having the same coach for 36 seasons. And all of a sudden going through 3 coaches in 3 years, and really this program hasn't skipped a beat.
Yeah, it's hard. Maybe they didn't, quite reach the success that Harry Kelderman had, but now obviously with Brian Ross getting them back here to state, I would agree. I think they're back. I think they had a couple down years, and down meaning they were still pretty
6 or
good.
7 games above 500.
Yeah, still pretty good, but obviously they've ramped it up to that next level again.
An 11-win team, and Coach Ross's first year, and second place finished in the FVA to Oshkosh West back in 2017. That was a team that lost in a regional final against Sussex Hamilton, who was at that point on the rise before getting the state last year. But a senior class of 13 that are wrapping up their outstanding Rocket careers today. Same thing for 13 Wildcat seniors. They've been a part of a number of firsts for this program.
First couple of mistakes we've seen from Verona there, uncharacteristic. Missed pass and then a mishandled clearance. There's Neenah's looking to capitalize. Verona's got to be careful here around the box.
Throwing here for Logan Pagel.
Here's where, as a coach, you really start watching that clock. When you get down to those last 15, 20 minutes, you're just praying you can hang on, not have any breakdowns, you know, get another goal so we can breathe a little bit. And you see, obviously, Neenah's pushing, and Verona's having a couple uncharacteristic struggles here. The pressure's on. This is when it's real.
Lagunas. There's McDonald. And Lagunas back of the head off that collision with Cooper Moss. How many times have we seen that in this tournament?
Lagunas has had a rough day. He's been on the ground a few times. He's going to be feeling this in the morning. 3 subs coming on for Verona.
That includes Gomez, Jack Heilman. Abreu also back out there. The Rockets getting ready to sub Ziegert and Nording back in. This throw-in for Pagel. And before that can happen, the aforementioned Ziegert and Nording substitutions taking place. Lone goal in this game came back in the 14th minute. Popkowitz from Simonet.
Neenah's doing a nice job of really pushing the tempo. Verona's dropped everybody back, except Heilman.
Nasser. Good flight. Hansen's out of the goal. That was kicked away from McDonald. Brooks Luttinen right in front of that goal line for the Wildcats.
Verona got away with one there. Nate Hansen made the decision to come out. Wasn't the best choice. Ball was a little too far. He couldn't get to it. Thankfully, his teammates were able to clear it off the line. And Neenah didn't have a good shot right here. He just really doesn't have a chance. He's got to trust his teammates. Got a little grab in there. Saw that.
Luttinen, who got a piece, but then.
And that's one of those. Verona was lucky it didn't rebound off McDonald and go into the goal. If that hits him straight and it comes off straight, it goes right into the corner of the goal.
Usually shook up Rocket.
That's why those set plays are so dangerous. Anything can happen. Corner kick, free kick, put that ball in the box. All of a sudden there's a mad scramble. You get some crazy bounces. You know, goalie makes a decision to come out or not come out. You know, there's so many factors that go into that. Here Hansen comes out. He shouldn't have. Ball was too far away. Almost a handball there. Not quite. Luckily for Verona, they're able to clear it off the line.
Again, a great spot for Brooks Luttinen to be in. As McDonald helped off the field for Neenah. 77th minute. Wildcats looking for their first state championship. Rockets looking to play comeback and win their first in 12 years. Wrapping up our championship Saturday after Sturgeon Bay, Shorewood, and Brookfield Central all winning their program's second ever state championships. For Shorewood, their first since 1997. For Brookfield Central, their first since 1992. Sturgeon Bay, now a repeat champion in the short 7-year history in Division 4. One of their first titles since 2015 when they knocked off University School of Milwaukee.
Yeah, we've had some awesome games. Tight games, a lot of action. It's been a good Saturday, other than the cold.
I thought maybe coming in too, and you know, I talked about this, might be a wide open field. There's so many teams back here, and some haven't been here in a few years. But so many newcomers from last year with only 2 teams repeating in qualifying for state from 2018. That being Sturgeon Bay and McFarland.
And it's been exactly that. It's been wide open. We've had these end-to-end action games. You know, it's been teams really going after and realizing this is an opportunity that they shouldn't pass up.
Bogan.
I want to commend Ian Bogan. He's had a nice game today. Wasn't anything he could do on the goal that Verona did score.
Upwards of 6 saves so far for the senior keeper.
Showed some really solid hands. He saved Neenah a few times. Those are definitely shots and balls that could have been spilled as rebounds, and he held on to them.
Another Rockets substitution. And Thomas McDonald, after leaving the game with injury, is healed.
Miraculously. No, it's good. They need him in there.
Ethan Coombs. That was off McNuckle.
It's going to be a point here where Coach Ross for Neenah is going to have to start moving more men forward, leaving less in the back, risking a second Verona goal, but you've got nothing to lose. They need a goal.
Nasser.
There's that speed and that ball handling ability Nasser and Priest both have. We just haven't seen enough of it today.
Back to Priest. And Hanson able to get the ball in front of him. So slowly back up to his feet, Sean Forze. He could be back next year, only a junior. The Rockets were in a similar situation going into this season. They graduated 16 seniors from last year's team.
That's an amazing number. 16.
This year will be 13. They had 22 wins last year. 17 entering this championship matchup. That's off McNuckle. Rockets throw in. Going to back up though for the toss. 80th minute.
And the Rockets got to be careful. You can't take any dumb fouls, you know, time-wasting fouls. Just be solid.
Jack Heilman leaving the field for the Wildcats. Luttinen. Flores.
Gomez is just sort of lurking.
Nordane coming over to help out.
Nice job by Luttinen, just taking the ball to the corner and standing over it. Been watching the pros.
Now Simonet. Another look there involving Elliot Popkowitz.
Nice hit by Popkowitz.
He prior to that sectional final not recorded a game-winning goal. If this holds up, he'll record a 3rd consecutive game winner.
That's pretty impressive. Good run of luck for him.
Now the game winner in the sectional final in the 89th minute. Yesterday it came in the 10th minute. So far tonight, the 14th.
pretty amazing, not having one all year, and then you rack up 3 in the 3 most important games of your season. That's awesome. Well, how many players is Neenah going to commit forward in these last, commit to the attack? The dying embers of this game.
Gomez. Luttinen.
Verona got lucky there. Luttinen almost turned the ball over.
Abreu with McNuckle. Gomez, McNuckle.
McNuckle's trying. Man, he's had some awesome runs from that left back position. But again, you got to be careful. You got a goal. You don't need another one. He's got to make sure if he's going to make those runs that he's hustling back.
Luttinen again into the corner. Flores with a goal kick for the Rockets.
Now, if you play it right, you can get the ball right on the corner flag, so the corner flag holds it in. And then just hold it, just pin it there. This is where Verona has to be careful. They can't lose sight of Nasser or Priest. They just got to make sure they got a body on those guys. They've done such a good job all game of neutralizing them.
That body was Sam Lynch on Nasser on that sequence. Luttinen. Went across the way. Had Gomez coming back toward the ball. McNuckle from Gomez. Taken away, and now a whistle and foul to go against Zachary Ziegert.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Those dumb fouls. They had the turnover. They would have been going the other way on the counter. There was no need to push. Here's the push right there. There's no need for that. Got the turnover. And now time's wasting, and Verona's got the free kick.
McNuckle on the pass. Gomez. Now the Rockets make it a series of substitutions. Waiting to come on, but you have Josh Conger, Canones among those 3 now in for Coach Ross. Look at Jonathan Gomez. 85th minute. Wrapping up championship Saturday. Lynch. That was off of McNuckle, and I'll take a defensive approach.
Nice job by Lynch. We've called his name a lot tonight. Number 11, Brooks Luttinen in the back for Verona. McNuckle on the left side.
This foul against Gomez.
They've just been solid all game.
McNuckle. And sent behind Gomez. The Rockets substitution. Right back in, you have McDonald replacing Forze. Wow.
Can't afford that.
The Rocket.
It's like missing a serve in volleyball.
I'm sure you can say every threw it in.
Yeah, handing the ball over to the other team. They can't afford that.
Flores with a spread up that left side. Gomez.
If you're Verona, just get the ball to the corner. Don't mess with it in the middle of the field. Get it to the corner. Make Neenah chase the ball down.
And now Gomez. Gomez! Putting the finishing touches on this D1 state championship matchup.
I'd like to see that again. That was a critical touch. That was a bouncing ball, and he managed to flatten it out for himself so he could get it on his left foot and effectively end this game. Nice, putting it in the side netting. Ball settled for him right at the end there. It was bouncing, and all of a sudden it just settled right before he was able to get his left foot on it. Nice, easy pass to the corner. Looks like Verona's on their way. Nice game plan. They just played solid from beginning to end.
Gomez's first goal since the sectional semifinal, his third here in the postseason.
Neenah could just never seem to get Priest and Nasser unleashed up top. They just couldn't give him enough support. Verona wouldn't let it happen. They just had too many defenders and too much possession. Wouldn't let Neenah get into the flow of their game and do what they wanted to do.
Luttinen almost got the bend. Inside of 3 minutes left.
Unfortunately, that's what happens when you're really pressing to get goals. You leave yourself shorthanded sometimes in the back. It's the risk you take.
Knocked out there by Bennett Luttinen. Rockets.
McNuckle again, solid on the defensive end too.
Bogan. Inside of 2 minutes left. Nice, the Rockets start to get a few more of their seniors onto the field for the last minute plus. Luttinen to the pass. Well, the mindset has been next step, and for the Wildcats, they've
nice
taken
pass.
that final step. Minute 20 away from that state championship.
Verona's passing has just been precision today. They have just been on everything, and they've made it look so effortless, so simple.
Luttinen getting taken down. And Priest being shown the yellow, and that may be how his prep career comes to a close.
Priest and Nasser were just never able to get untracked. No fault of their own.
They'll be with Louis Bennett and the Marquette Golden Eagles in the fall. A year in which Thomas Priest erupting for 28 goals. You know, big in their D1 semifinal victory. This will be a third runner-up finish in the sixth championship game appearances for the Rockets. Their last runner-up in 1991.
As much as it stinks, there's a whole lot of teams that wish that they were playing in this championship game and would take a runner-up finish. You know, credit to Coach Ross and the Neenah Rockets. They've had an awesome year. They gave Verona a run for their money. And Verona was just too good today.
Luttinen trying to get back into the corner. All kinds of pressure there with Cooper Moss. With Will Remanap, the sophomore defender, into the Rockets lineup. Final 30 seconds. Final 10. The Verona area Wildcats. First ever boys soccer state tournament appearance. Heading home as the D1 boys soccer state champions.
Congratulations to Verona. They played a complete game from beginning to end. Shut Neenah down. Neenah just didn't have an answer for Verona today. The Wildcats were excellent. And congratulations too to the Neenah Rockets for being here in this championship game. They had an awesome season.
A third consecutive game-winning goal for Elliot Popkowitz. This one coming to the 14th minute. Jonathan Gomez able to finish things off with a late goal here in the second half. And the Wildcats, state champs at 21, 1-2, winning their final 11 consecutive and 17 of their last 18 games.
It's an amazing streak. Coach Hendrick's got a solid team there.
We'll come back with more from the Eli Soccer Park as we wrap up this championship Saturday. The Wildcats, D1 state champions here in 2019. You're watching continue to cover the boys high school state soccer tournament on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Championship Saturday wrapping up with Verona bringing home a Division I Golden Ball. They shut out the Neenah Rockets by the final score of 2-0, and a quality couple of days here at state for the Wildcats in their first ever appearance. And a story, the play of Elliot Popkowitz through these last couple of weeks.
Last 3 games, game-winning goal. Your biggest players come up biggest when the lights are the brightest, and he did it for the Verona Wildcats.
Checking out the highlights from this final, and Verona in control early on. Getting a number of players involved with Gannon Simonet. See Simonet play the ball here.
Pulls the defense away and then slots it back to the middle of the field.
That goal by Elliot Popkowitz coming to the 14th minute. That would be your game winner. And a game that would see the Wildcats outshoot Neenah 19-5, including 10-3 in that first half. Finishing touches put on by Jonathan Gomez in the 87th minute unassisted. There was a yellow card handed out to Thomas Priest at the end. But this night belongs to Verona, a 21-win season. They got to the sectional finals for the first time in program history, the state for the first time, and now they have a golden ball, and that's their girls' 2010 state championship golden ball.
Keep meeting those goals, and why not go win it all? And the Verona Wildcats did just that. Excellent showing today from the opening whistle to the end of the game. Dominated possession. Neenah just didn't have an answer. Verona's game plan worked. They were able to shut down Neenah's attackers and do some attacking themselves. Congratulations to Wildcats.
We'll come back. We'll put a wrap on our state boys soccer coverage after this. The 38th annual WIAA Boys Soccer State Tournament continues. Our coverage on Fox Sports Wisconsin. The Verona area Wildcats, the golden ball headed their direction. The 2019 WIAA Division I Boys Soccer State Champions. What a victory, knocking off the Neenah Rockets 2-0 and capping off what has been another magical season for Verona. And what a championship Saturday has been, a number of competitive battles. A day that began with Sturgeon Bay bringing home their second ever state title with a 2-1 overtime win against the Prairie School. Shorewood, their first state championship since their only other in 1997, coming back to knock off McFarland. A battle of Brookfield, decided in a shootout, won by the Brookfield Central Rangers, their first state championship in 1992. And now Verona bringing home their first ever state title.
Matt, we can look at those scores and they look pretty low. A lot of 2-1, 2-0, 1-1. But man, it was an exciting day of soccer. Each of those games wasn't decided until the bitter end. Some exciting finishes in all 4 state championship games.
So that will do it here from Milwaukee. Special thanks to our entire crew, hard-working crew behind the scenes, from my broadcast partner Eric Shazer. Matt Middle saying so long. good day from the Eli Soccer Park in Milwaukee. What a championship Saturday. And you've been watching coverage of the 38th annual WIAA Boys Soccer State Tournament all day long on Fox Sports Wisconsin.